Welcome to Minot Talk this Thursday day.
It's morning. It's 9 a.m. It's Minot Talk. We're live. We got a guest coming on later. We've got some big stuff happening today.
I'm falling away from you. Our cameras are awful.
It's my fault. I take the blame. It's like we didn't stream on Facebook on Tuesday. That was my fault. My apologies. If you missed us there, you can definitely see it on YouTube still. Had a great conversation with T from the PIO office and Nicole from the Code Enforcement Department of the Minot Police Department. Talked about a lot of really interesting things when it comes to code enforcement and different ordinances here in town. So if you didn't see that, make sure you go check it out.
Yeah.
But Jonathan's back.
I'm back. We're having a good time.
Yes, we are. We are. It's happening. Because guess what? It's debate day, everybody. And I'm excited.
It's going to be a good day. I'm hanging in there.
Jonathan's
It's been a long marathon to get here, but we made it.
Hey, I wasn't here for the first part of the marathon. I only had to run a half marathon. But
Yeah.
I'd like to think, okay, never literally, but at least in this metaphor, I think I would like to be thinking I'm winning this half marathon.
Yeah.
I'm running ahead of the pack right now. I feel good about it.
Right.
You got it started. It's a tag team marathon. Yeah, you got the first half. I ran the anchor, and we're gonna knock it out of the park tonight. Because you know why?
Why?
We've got Joe Skurzewski moderating tonight. He's going to be
pretty
joining
legendary.
us later today in the podcast, so make sure you stick around and talk to Joe a little bit. We also have Kevin Burkhardt, the legend himself, emceeing the event. That's going to be incredible. Going to be running.
We have another legend.
Who's that?
Sitting right next to Joe Skurzewski is going to be Collom.
Working the time clock. Heck yeah.
Working the time. He's going to be doing more than that. We have the most professional timer in the history of debates.
Gosh darn right. And be the most well-dressed timekeeper ever.
All right.
Anyways, though, but we also, it is going to be live on K-Hits 106.9 FM as well. Again, big shout out to Joe and the team at K-Hits. Want to thank you guys again. It's going to be an awesome event here tonight. So make sure if you haven't made plans yet, clear your schedule tonight. 5:30 doors open at Central Campus. Debate starts at 6:30. Going to be the mayor event first. It's going to run, half hour, 45 minutes. Then we're going to transition, go to the council event for a little over an hour.
Yeah, be pretty awesome. Looking forward to it. What's going to be the biggest highlight?
Biggest highlight, man. I will say this. Last year's biggest highlight to me, outside of maybe any 1v1 things that happened, was the crowd.
Gotcha.
The crowd is what made it electric last year. It was such a fun atmosphere and environment, and I hope we can have that happen again. We want to keep it clean and respectful, but if people want to get a little excited, I think that's more than fine too.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you? What's your big expectation?
The crowd will be good. I always love the interactions back and forth. I hope that there's not necessarily calling out, but that there's actual discussion.
Yeah.
Because as you go through this process, a lot of these forums, understandably so, just want to hear the answers to the questions. And so we allow the candidates to go back and forth a little bit. And I think that's interesting because you get to actually see, like, no, I disagree with this, or I agree with this, or whatever happens.
Yep. So in preparation last night, I watched the 2008 presidential debate between Obama and McCain, the first one, and it was moderated by Jim Lara, who is a legend in the moderating business. He's moderated more presidential debates than anyone else. And it's such a unique debate because of the rules in that one allowed the candidates to address each other one-on-one and openly converse, which generally speaking in presidential debates, that's not how, they don't open the floor up like that. So when you're watching the debate, after their, effectively their opening statements, Lara comes out and straight up says, talk to him. Say it to McCain and say it to Obama, and they get a little confused and they're like, "Oh, hi!" But a lot of people at the time were like, "Oh, this old man's trying to make this about himself."
Yeah.
When in reality, Jim Lara was just trying to promote direct and open conversation between two senators who were presidential candidates, who at that exact time were in the middle of negotiations for the financial bailout of the financial system that was collapsing at that stage. And I really think that Jim Lara is a legend, A, and B, that's a fantastic format for a debate, is that kind of open, direct discussion. So that was my preparation last night. I went and watched that. I got ready for it, and I'm more than excited for today.
I'll use this word lovingly, is a nerd.
Yeah.
When it comes to the debates, so love that.
You're darn tootin'. I won't deny that. What did you do for prep on this, Jonathan? You prep last night at all? Or you just listened to me bombard you via text message?
Yeah, my prep for this was to try to get a little bit of sleep because you need to have a lot of sleep.
I couldn't sleep last night. I was waking up a bunch. I woke up with a stomach ache today, but I think it's because I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's some level of nerves, excitement. I like to try to channel that nervous energy into, because I don't know, to me at least, I'm excited. I'm yapping today, clearly. So to me at least, we have, when you feel nervous, it's a very similar feeling to when you're very, very excited for something. It's different, totally different, but there is a commonality somewhere in the pit of your stomach that I think if you can hone that and harness it correctly, you can turn that nervous energy into excitement. That's something I've been trying to do more recently in my life, and this is one of those things that I think it's a perfect opportunity to see play out too.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget last year at the debate, coming into it. It was great setup and everything, and then we went home to get changed, and I threw my little temper tantrum because I couldn't get my tie tied properly, and it was hot and everything. It's gonna be hot again today. Oh man, it's a scorcher out there already. But anyways, getting off topic, I'm very excited for today. I am going to be more than ready and want to channel all of that energy into the most excited possible way I can.
Absolutely. We're going to be joined by Joe Skurzewski most likely later on the podcast today. Yesterday you went on a tour though.
I did, yeah. This is a good thing to talk about now. I joined, I want to say 4 or 5 council candidates and the entire mayoral race, Mayor Janser and Josiah Royce, along with some sitting current council members on a tour of the Minot flood protection. So first off, I wrote an article on it. I was real excited last night. I was feeling it, so I knocked that out. So go check it out, mydakotan.com. You can see it on Facebook as well. But it started out at City Hall, and there was a presentation. Ryan Ackerman, chair of the Souris River Joint Board, big authority when it comes to flood protection and control in Minot, and he gave a very in-depth presentation on the history of flood control in Minot, dating all the way back to 1904. Talked about a lot of how the city had gone through a lot of different phases, especially between 1900 and 1920s. There was a couple different levels of floods that, it was maybe ankle, knee deep, depending where you were at in town. And then it really transitioned into like post 1920s and the 1930s is when you finally started to see the Army Corps of Engineers do some real legitimate studies on where you want to see actual flood control happen from. And you saw there was a lot of those studies between the 30s and the 50s effectively. And then in 1969, obviously we had the big flood then. And so at that point in time, the amount of cubic feet per second of water that could go through the city of Minot safely without overspilling its banks was about 3,000 CFS prior to 1969. After 1969, they didn't do a ton of direct flood control. So much more was channelization of the river and making it a lot more direct and cutting out so many of those dead loops that we see today now. So when they did that, that increased the CFS capacity in Minot from 3,000 all the way up to 5,000. Wow. So it made a solid direct difference, and that's why you saw some flooding in the early 70s still when that process was in progress still. It was a really wet time frame at that point, and you saw something. But going after that, then you saw there were more, studies that were being done, more boards that were created, and one interesting one was the potential and prospectus of something called the Burlington Dam, which at that point in time, Burlington Dam was initiated to be a dry dam that would be built north of Burlington upriver, so it would pretty much block if they needed to use it, block any water north of Burlington up the hill there pretty much, and push it back and keep it away from Burlington Minot. Well, there was a lot of fighting that went on over that in the 1980s. You had rural and city sides going back and forth on it, and really made some conversations about if this is the right move or not going forward. You had a lot of people fighting back and forth, and finally, after a lot of discussion, that project was dropped, and you didn't see a lot of it come forward. So after that, 1989 is when you see the current agreement that we have now between Minot and North Dakota and country of Canada, where they have a joint agreement to monitor the waters, the boundary waters, because it goes between Canada and America. You have to share those in a respective way that both allows water consumption in Canada, but also keeps places like Minot not flooded. So fast forward up to 2011, this is the big year, obviously, and that's when CFS levels spiked, and there's conversation on if, we can, where the CFS levels should have been, but there's contractual agreements in those boards to where that can be. So after 2011, so remember earlier I was saying 5,000 CFS was the limits. Mm-hmm. So because of flood work, diking, levee systems that we had built that year, it got built up to, 10, 12, 13, 15,000. And we were pushing the limits as much as we could. And the water kept coming, as we remember. And there were so many different rain events that happened that spring. You had to look at all these events that would happen unexpectedly and last as long as they did.
Right. That part is difficult.
That is, because you had in the beginning of June, there was, I think in the end of May, there was the first evacuation, and then we all went back, and then there was like a 2-day long rainstorm in June that rose water levels by 10 feet up in the up north of Minot, Darling, Burlington, and Foxhome and north. And so that led to that they had to push as much water out as they could. And that's why the levels went over 27,000 CFS for a couple days. And that's why it got as bad as it did. And because we had the dikes as large as they were, all that water got trapped in Minot for as long as it did. Just compounded that fact. And so we got to go on a little tour, see we went to the high water mark, got to see some current construction happening by the zoo, which makes total sense why it was closed last year. I am frankly shocked it's going to be open this year, but it's going to be awesome.
Roosevelt Park's a mess.
It is.
And it's for a fair reason, but it is.
It's going to be great to see it open, but it is, that's a hard one for sure.
Absolutely.
But that wrapped it up. It was a fun event yesterday.
That going to play into the debate at all?
I think there's going to be some questions about that, at least at some point or time. But
gotcha.
I look forward to it. It was, again, great event. B, going to be another great event tonight. So I think everyone should be on the lookout for that.
For sure. No, it sounds interesting. Obviously, the flood has, in the Canada process where people have been saying their viewpoints, has come to the forefront again, and it's been a conversation that has come up at council. So it's good. It's something that they've done before. These conversations have been very front of center right now, but it's good that they do these things. It can be get the information out there to people if they're interested in finding it.
100%. Did a great job with the presentation. If you want to see that presentation, you can go to the City of Minot's YouTube page. They live streamed that. So you can see the whole history of pretty much flood protection in Minot at that point.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome.
It was great.
So what did you think about, there was also a press conference that happened down in Bismarck yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, we couldn't make it for that, but we did get to see some of it. I got to watch the video later on.
So Governor Armstrong's reportedly donated around just under $200,000 to 20 candidates and one district party committee during the 2026 election cycle. That's drawn the ire of some of the other candidates that haven't received money. So you could go and present it that way. Some say that it blurs lines, whether or not Governor Armstrong should be involved. What's your take on it?
Well, their biggest argument of the detractors of the situation is that in the state constitution, there's a clause that says the governor can't throw his official influence around to get a candidate elected to an office, which I think the subjective part is, what does, influence mean at that point? Does him giving money to someone mean that, or does him coming as the governor to an event mean that? I genuinely don't know, and you can argue both of those, Ken, and I think the detractors do at that point. But I don't want to say
yes.
No, when you look at
early success in the podcast, we got Kyler wanting to not go places. He's going to defer to talking about the Timberwolves, whose season is over.
Yeah, that fell apart. But no, I understand what their goal was, to try to go out front of his office, to try to have a conversation with him, or bring the conversation up to say, hey, we are people that were nominated by our districts, or we are incumbents of our districts. Should the Republican Party not be us as representatives, and do your candidates mean more, kind of thing? So I understand where they're coming from, but a lot of the conversation points I didn't think were necessarily the most depth provoking, I guess, if that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't. You'd have to watch it and you'd understand, I think.
Right. Yeah. Do you feel like it's all right for Armstrong to be? It's something he's not the first governor to, in some way, go and give an opinion on races.
Feels a little early in his in his part here, but I wasn't 100% sure on the whole entirety of it. I mean, when you see you have a governor, the governors have done this in the past. It just feels like this being his first midterm election during his election process of governor himself. It feels a little early to be touching this kind of thing, but also, I guess, big picture, unless we can rule that it's legitimately unconstitutional, I don't know if there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
And that's going to
Very
be
good.
hard, but...
Okay. Sounds good. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to break down a bunch of our stuff with the debate. That's one of the main things we're going to have. And we're also going to have Joe Skurzewski on with us.
Yes.
So it should be a good time. So we'll give us 60 seconds, and we'll be right back at you.
Hi, I'm Steve Podregula. I'm running for Minot City Council. I'm asking for your vote because I believe I have the experience, common sense, and judgment to be an effective leader. In the 16 years I've served the city, I've seen us grow and develop, but we can do even better. My top 5 priorities are as follows. 1, making sure our tax dollars are wisely spent, including keeping a lid on property taxes. 2, enhancing public safety through better police and fire protection. 3, increasing openness and accountability in government and developing a shared vision for the future. 4, improving infrastructure, particularly flood protection and better street maintenance. And 5, enhancing the quality and efficiency of city services. In these challenging times, experience and understanding do matter. Working together, we can help Minot become an even better place to live and grow. I would appreciate your vote on June 9th. Thanks.
Well, howdy. Oh, there we go. We're a little off kilter in the camera. That's why we have the legendary live production officer, Jonathan Starr, fixing it for us.
Thank you, Jonathan.
We are joined by Joe Skurzewski, now friend of the show. Thanks for coming on again, Joe.
Glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
It's a blast. I'm excited to talk because we have a fun announcement. You're going to be moderating the debate tonight.
Thank you so much, and forgive the bags under my eyes. It's a little early for me, a second shifter, but I'm perfectly fine coming out here, and do want to thank the Dakotan for inviting me to moderate tonight's debate. I think this is a very good event for the Minot community. This is a very important election for the city of Minot with our mayoral election and our city council election as well, and the vision for the city moving forward.
100% there. It's going to be a really fun event here coming up. We've had obviously a lot of discussion coming back and forth about who's going to be there. I think we have all 9 candidates committed to it. As of last night, everybody sounds like they're going to be there. That is, for mayor, obviously current mayor Mark Janser, Josiah Royce. Then we are going to have all council candidates: Isaiah Keller, David Wiley, Joan Hawbaker, John McMartin, Stephen Podregula, whose commercial you just saw, and Eric Locken, as well as Nicole Brosfield. So it is going to be a full house. It's going to be a packed event tonight.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope that we have a good turnout. Really looking forward to hearing what the candidates are going to be saying about some of the key issues that we'll be talking about. I mean, I think common sense dictates some of the, we have an agenda with questions, but common sense dictates some of the questions will be about, the budget and how they're going to be tackling some of the key issues that the city is going to be facing moving forward. Probably be talking about flood projects as well, and talking about the mayoral election is interesting. I'm really interested with the city council race because kind of the way I look at it, it feels like a proverbial toss-up among the 7 candidates who will get those 3 open spots on the council. It really is a prime opportunity for the Minot community. You don't often see this in Minot where you have 3 vacant positions because the incumbents who have served the city well have made the decision to step aside and pursue other things in life. But it's a great opportunity for citizens, and I'm glad, for one, that we have a big pool of candidates. It would be unfortunate, in my opinion, if it was 3 people vying for 3 spots. Now, because it's contested, we have an opportunity for the candidates to actually discuss and debate the issues, and we get to dive into some of this stuff.
No, undoubtedly. I'm looking forward to actually getting some, because we were talking about this a little bit, like having a forum where you have those questions asked is incredibly necessary.
Right.
But having a format where with an actual debate where you're able to give the candidates an opportunity to go have a little back and forth and have some actual discussion, I think that's really healthy for the election cycle.
Yes, I do. I think it's a good opportunity for these candidates to share their take on what they think the vision is for the future of Minot. And it's a good mixture too of candidates as well. We have some people with at least one candidate with previous council experience,
Yep.
others that have been civically involved in the Minot community for decades, others who work at other businesses but maybe haven't been civically involved and decided, you know what, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring.
Right. Yep. No, for sure. One thing that the back and forth, all that I'm looking forward to. One thing that's always interesting is the questions that come in from the audience as well. And so this year, like we did last year, have the ability, there'll be a QR code there. People will be able to scan it, be able to submit questions online. We'll be able to receive those. We'll also be monitoring way more than we did last year on Facebook and YouTube, trying to catch comments as they come in. And I think that's something that people need to, like, it's going to be a fun event. We'll break down what's going to happen there. But it's also something where it can be very engaging if the audience allows it to. You can be asking your questions to the members and then allow them to go back and forth on it. So that'll be good. So let's start with it. Doors open at 5:30.
Yep.
If you show up at 5:30, what do you get?
Sounds like there's going to be some food there. We're going to have Magic City Hoagies providing some hoagies. It's
Yes.
going to be fantastic. If you've never had them, they do a fantastic job down there. Big shout out to them. Much appreciated that they're coming in with that. Going to have a little chance at that point too for a little meet and greet with some of the candidates. We're hoping they're all going to be able to show up early at 5:30. If not, we'll hopefully at that flip side have an opportunity at the end of the debate. Maybe you can catch them then as well.
For sure.
But you'll have plenty of time because also we're going to have little handouts that if you want, it's going to have access to a new poll that we're going to, or survey that we're going to be putting out. That's going to be similar to what we've done in the past. So I look forward to that. And then debate kicks. Well, I think our legendary MC Kevin Burkhardt is going to kick off events at about 6:20, and then 6:30 he's going to throw it over to you, Joe, and we're going to start with the mayor race.
All right, yeah, that's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun. Now we get to talk with incumbent Mayor Mark Janser and his challenger Josiah Royce.
Yes,
two guys who know the mayoral election well from last year. I feel like last year we had 4 candidates, but I feel it almost feels a little bit like Groundhog Day in a sense that here we go again. We're doing another contested mayoral race, but I think that'll be some good discussion on the candidates, especially with some of the topics that they've been talking about of late.
For sure. That's going to go for 30 to 40 minutes.
Somewhere in there, yeah. Well, we got a little room to breathe in there, but we want to keep, again, we've seen, like Joe said, it's a little Groundhog Day-ish. We've heard from Mayor Janser, and we know what Josiah Royce has to say as well. We've heard from them over the last year now, effectively. And so we want to see them again, especially in a one-on-one setting. But so much of this show we want to be able to put forward towards the council candidates because so much of them are unknown.
And even with 7 council candidates, and we're going to have around an hour 15 to an hour 45 somewhere in there, probably lands right around the hour and a half time frame. Though each mayoral and city council will all have about the same amount of voice time because there's a large amount of city council candidates even in an hour and a half debate.
Yep. Just being able to balance that between 7 people. Joe, I wish you luck. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be right there to support you. But
thank you. I think the first viewer question is going to be, can the moderator pronounce his name?
Please, yes.
Send thoughtful questions.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but I think I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm honored that the Dakotan invited me.
For sure.
And also KMOT will be having coverage of the debate tonight at 6 and 10. And of course, we'll be covering the election on June 9th as well.
It's going to be great.
Which is a fantastic point because this will be live on the Dakotan, so you can go to YouTube, Facebook. There's going to be the coverage on KMOT, which will give some recaps and some previews of this. You can also, if you're going to be in the car, you can catch it on K-Hits 106.9. Joe Goldaddy and their crew does a great job there. And then, so plenty of places to catch this debate. Wherever you're at, you can listen to this thing.
Yeah. And a couple of base rules kind of here for everyone so we know what we're expecting when we come to this. One thing for sure, we're not going to have none of the candidates know any of the specific questions. We're not going to give them a direct heads up into that. We kind of gave them an idea of what the topics are going to be. So they have a rough idea of where they're going to be coming from. But we don't want anyone to have, an exact list to be able to bake off of. On top of that, we did go through and we have some rules set. the mayor debate is pretty much going to be similar to last year. We're going to have wide open setting, allow for questions back and forth. I think they're going to have 90 seconds to answer each question, and then we're going to pretty much open it up for rebuttals at that point, and then follow-up questions, community questions if possible. And then the really interesting one will be that city council one, where we have, obviously, they're going to have probably about a minute for each response. We want to get as much in as we can. And then the interesting part will be, we want rebuttals, but we're not going to allow every single one potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
We just
That's
not
only fair.
Yeah, it's just there's
What we saw in the mayoral, and it was, I felt like it was fine in the mayoral part, but is if we allow rebuttals, there can be a conversation that can go on for 5-6 minutes, and now we're getting past the point of productive conversation, and so we learned there had to be a line there. So that's something that we'll make sure is implemented here as well. So
yeah, it's going to be a great event tonight. 6:30. I guess, Joe, what's your big expectation for tonight?
I can't wait for the Magic City Hoagies. No, I am looking forward to Magic City Hoagies food. They make great food.
Yep.
My big expectation for tonight is that we are going to get a golden opportunity to hear some good feedback, particularly from the city council candidates, because I think, we can do what we can, like on the news end, doing previews of the candidates, but giving them an opportunity to expound on some of the issues is a good opportunity for them. And, because there's some of the candidates that, I personally would like to learn more about, why you want to be involved in city politics. It's opportunities like this are really good for them to say, okay, you threw in for this job. Why do you want it? Yeah.
No, it's great perspective there. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We do have to say a huge thank you to lots of people that helped make this happen. Special thanks to Voho Builders of Minot, already said, but Magic City Hoagies, Grain Thunder Media Company, they're going to be helping with some of the production. Ascend Wellness, KO Hits, I'm wanting to say KO Hits for some reason today.
Knockout.
106.9 for getting it on the radio waves. Arnie's 2.0 and Off the Vine, and a newer business in Minot that everyone should check out, Northern Plains Massage.
Yeah,
So-
heard that's a pretty legit place. Just open, taking clients starting tomorrow. So
Well, there you go. Might have to stop by.
might have.
After tonight, I might need a massage.
Exactly.
It's
Right.
gonna be a full night.
Yeah.
And before we kind of cut out here, I did get this pulled up finally. Our core rules for the debate, just so everyone kind of has a little idea of what to expect here tonight. We gave a little bit of an idea, but we're going to have candidates. We're going to want them to all receive equal speaking time and opportunities as much as possible. We want candidates to answer the question that was asked of them. Candidates should avoid personal attacks to one another, and they should not interrupt one another. That's what the rebuttal period would be for. Moderators may redirect the candidates that go off topic, and moderators may allow brief rebuttal for clarifications when appropriate. A countdown clock will be present so everyone can see.
For the candidate, so the candidates
Yeah,
can see.
yes, excuse us, yes. If a candidate repeatedly exceeds the time limits, moderators may deduct time from that candidate's next response, and moderators may intervene respectfully but firmly to maintain fairness and timeliness. So there's a couple other specifics for the mayor and the council side, but generally across the board, that's something to be expecting tonight.
So there you have it. Looking forward to it. It's
gonna be a
5:30,
blast.
doors open, 6 o'clock. Be there by then. Seats are going to fill up eventually. So
Heck yeah. Central Campus downtown, it's going to be a great venue.
yeah, it will be a good venue. Very solid. Should have even better. Last year we did at Mouse River Players Theater. It was a fantastic venue. They did a great job. The sound, we had a little bit of problem with that because whatever. But this should be a little bit bigger place, so the sound hopefully is a little better. No, not as much screeching.
Yes.
That was always a good time. So
And we would. Last year, we got some grief for not having a microphone just to catch the ambiance in the room. So I think
hopefully we can catch that a little bit.
we're going to have a better chance to get some of that.
yeah, that was interesting. When you watch it back on YouTube, it sounds like there's no crowd and nobody's doing anything. There was heckling going on in the crowd. We were told basically like there was too much at times, and so we're cognizant of that. But definitely fun event. Really appreciate you coming on to the podcast today, but also for moderating. Really looking forward to that, Joe.
Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for having me tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great honor.
It's going to be a blast, Joe. Thank you.
We will cut to another 60-second break, and then we got more stuff coming your way. So
blast.
we'll be back 60 seconds.
In the demanding world of oil and gas, precision, safety, and efficiency are non-negotiable. Unmanned operator drone services revolutionizes how you monitor, inspect, and manage your operations. With cutting-edge technology and expert operators, we deliver real-time data, detailed reports, and actionable insights for our valuable clients. Why risk the safety of your team or waste precious time? Our drones access even the most challenging areas with ease, reducing downtime and enhancing safety across your sites. We take the guesswork out of your projects by offering LiDAR, mapping, and inspection services so that your projects stay safe, on budget, and on time. Unmanned operator drone services, where technology meets safety, precision, and efficiency. Contact us today to elevate your operations. Yes, pun intended.
All right, so we're continuing our debate day coverage. It's not done yet. I think we have another special guest that might be jumping on with us as well. But let's catch up in the comments. Cindy Gordon says Kyler Collom for write-in candidate. Yeah. So that's still a trend, Kyler.
Hey, I like I said, I will be doing so.
You're writing your name?
Of course.
Of course.
If I will, you can. Shout out.
Fair.
There we go.
And we're going to be joined by
I was just going to let him know.
Virtual guest.
Sorry, folks, I had to jump out. It's all wrapped up. All right, I'm ready. Da-da-da-da. Maybe.
We're trying to figure out our technical difficulties, but we have a guest that'll be on here
in 1 second. But
shortly.
One other thing to kind of think of and look forward to here tonight, make sure that when you do show up, like we were talking with Joe here, you have some good questions ready to go because you can submit them both online. We have QR codes that are out and about. You can start submitting them right now. Or on the flip side, when you get there in person, you will be able to do them as well. So I look forward to that, and I look forward to our new guest here that we have on right now.
Hey, Joe, how we doing?
Good. How's it going there?
Well, it's a day of Joes here. We're having our morning Joe.
That's perfect. Morning Joe with Joe and Joe.
Not all morning Joes are created equal. I'll take the one that was just on the show.
I don't know about that. Yeah, it must be morning, so we do have corny jokes. But hey, K-Hits 106.9 going to be having the debate on their airwaves. That's pretty exciting. Thank you guys for doing that once again.
We're just excited you're doing this. I don't think people realize the amount of work that goes into planning, into making sure you've got the right space, the technical setup. Even now, I was trying to call in thinking, okay, maybe this will work. I just want to call in and praise you guys and say how much we appreciate you allowing us to share this with the community on the radio. But I mean, Jonathan, you're sitting there producing part of the show, answering my phone call. Like, you're doing it all.
Yeah. Hey, you know how that works. You do that every day. I mean, some days we wonder if you weren't climbing the radio tower yourself, making sure things are right up there while you're DJing on K-Hits, doing it all.
Well, I'm sure some people would appreciate if I just only did that. With everybody else.
There's some exciting stuff that's going on at K-Hits. I've been saying this all day. I know that it's K-Hits 106.9, but because of the 106, I've been trying to say K-O Hits. I don't know. There's a jingle for you, but nonetheless, you guys have some exciting stuff going on at K-Hits 106.9. Get us caught up here.
We've been growing. Well, first of all, I think the most important thing is that we've got a new commercial for Northern Plains Massage.
Yeah.
That is the elephant in the room here.
It is. Well, I think the first commercial is the elephant in the room. I think the one that got rejected.
Whoops.
I mean, it's amazing to start a small business, but then actually work with other small businesses and see them succeed. And we've been succeeding this last year because, when we bought the station, we just didn't want another station going, the way of not having local content on the air, right? So we have set up our business with a model of you can be anywhere in the world, but you have to have a connection to Minot, and you have to be always talking and interviewing. We want more community voices on our station. So the station isn't about us. It's not about me. It's not about Tom. It's not about Amber. We love what we do, but most of our day is spent lining up interviews, reaching out and talking about what's happening and getting that on the air. And so that has been our last year on the radio. And I'm sitting here watching your show while I'm on the air, thinking, oh yeah, we should talk about that, or say, hey, you should tune into the Dakotan right now because they're talking about that, or this guest is on, and we were just mentioning that. So I'm just excited to share that, we're to the point a year in where we're growing. We've got a salesperson locally, Robbie Keelan. She's amazing. She's all over Minot, everywhere, every day. And then the legendary Chris Kelly, 32-year veteran on Minot Radio, joining us June 1st. So we're just excited to be out in the community. Again, it's not about us. We are out to get as many people, events, and happenings in our area on the radio and keep them there.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Already been a year. I mean, it feels like it was just yesterday. You guys were just getting right when we had Tom on here. It was over a year ago now already, and really look forward to seeing where you guys keep going from here too. Obviously, big shout out. We've done some work together now. Appreciate you, Joe. But on top of that, now that you have Amber on board, you have Chris Kelly coming with you guys. Robbie Keelan doing some great work here around Minot as well. Really excited to see where you guys are going to keep growing to, especially with as much levels as you can get to with that HD radio. Really exciting future for AK Hits and Minot in general.
Yeah. And we're not, and I think this is the other thing that just needs to be said. There's local stations here. I mean, Hometown Radio has been here for over 20 years. And when I was on the TV station with the flood, they were covering us. So they've been here as well. Minot's too small to be, it's fun to have competition as a business, but there's a big difference between, fun competition and, something that just is not, it's not that. It's not, it's personal, or there's none of that. I do want to say, please support your local businesses as well and the other people in this industry. We just want to see it live on. Truly. That's what we're here for.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
It is.
Well,
I won't take any more of your time. I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. I'm excited to see this another year underway because we did this the first time. It was amazing. We learned so much. And now we get to do it again. And this would not happen without you guys. So thank you for doing it and allowing us tonight.
Appreciate it very much. It'll be going live on K-Hits 106.9 at 6:30.
Yes, right at 6:30. And we've been telling people, get downtown Central Campus, 5:30, meet and greet, check it all out, get a good seat. But if you can't get down there, it'll be on the radio, on the Dakotans website, also on our website at khits106.com. We've got many ways you can listen. No reason to not hear it tonight.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate you coming on, chatting with us, talking about it. Always good to have you on. Might have to, bring you back on June 9th, election day, because you are our lucky whatever that produces election results. So might have to do that when we're waiting for those results.
We're trained to get them first, so we'll see what we can do this year, boys. We'll get it done.
Sounds good. All right.
Thanks again, you guys. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Appreciate you. Well, always a legendary experience to see Joe come back in from K-Hits 106 right there.
Yeah, always.
Also, fun fact, who would have thought audio issues, I couldn't hear anything.
It was a good interview, man.
I had to listen through yours and try to lip read here.
It was a pretty good interview. You missed out.
Unplugged my headset at some point. I must have bumped it.
I'll definitely blame you on that.
I accept the blame. But again, big shout out to Joe. I caught 95% of it, so we're good there.
Yeah.
Much appreciated for Joe and Joe Skurzewski coming on. You guys are awesome. All a big part of why this is going to happen. Shout out Corey Long if you're watching too. Big reason this is going to be taking place today. The magic behind the scenes here.
Right. Yes. No. It's fantastic. I'm excited that it's here.
It is. It's finally here. It's the day. Then we get election day on June 9th, and then get a breather till end of summertime when we'll start seeing, probably around Labor Day, when you start seeing a lot more of the state races start picking up again.
A few of the comments. Sorry, there was an echo. We got that fixed.
I'm sorry.
Paul says K-Hits crew is awesome. They have always been about Minot. Yes, we love K-Hits. They do a good job. Wanda, funny part is our former governor is close to President Trump. To me, Trump likes North Dakota men that work there in the Washington, D.C. Capitol. I think that was about our prior conversation about some of the candidates. People definitely promoting Kyler as a write-in candidate, so we'll see that happen. Will you also be interviewing those who could quite possibly be write-in candidates? Well, we interview one of those guys almost daily.
How about this? They are an official announced write-in candidate. I bet they could get on.
Yeah. Going back to some of the flood talk, Nicole Brosfield from Minot City Council, Ryan Ackman's info was so informative of the why we have walls and land levy where we do. The amount of information that was given was amazing. Lisa Olson, the endorsements from the NDGP are akin to a participation award. That's a great conversation right there.
Yeah.
The GOP endorsement, there's been a lot of conversation about that. We might have to talk about that next week.
It might have to be like an episode.
Yeah, the GOP endorsement.
Yeah. Just,
Also, Alderman Olson, Ryan Ackman's presentation was outstanding. Everyone in the search station should hear it.
Yeah.
And you said that's something that people can still
yeah,
hear.
you can go on to the City of Minot's YouTube page, probably their Facebook page, I'd imagine as well. And I know it was live streamed yesterday. You can go see that his presentation in full, and it was a great presentation, incredibly in depth. I like Alderwoman Olson said. I would recommend anyone go check that out.
One of the biggest conversations that we have here at the Dakotan comes this time of year when we talk about playoff basketball.
Playoffs.
Yes, who's OKC or
Spurs.
yeah,
Probably OKC.
really?
Think it goes to 7.
I don't know, man. Probably OKC. So OKC or Spurs. Probably OKC. Think it goes to 7. I think it goes to 7.
It's fair. I could see obviously Game 6 is the determining factor of that. I can't say that. That would have been a goofball thing to say, but yeah.
It's one of your answers that actually mean nothing, but they sound smart.
I do a lot of that.
We were looking for another one of those, were we?
You're supposed to not notice. Gosh, Jonathan.
Well, you're so obvious sometimes.
But no, I look forward to the playoffs. I'm cheering for the Knicks. I think OKC in 7, then they'll probably beat the Knicks in 6. That's my thought. But I'm cheering for the Knicks.
That's
Go Cat.
yeah.
Yet another Minnesota sports star to leave his Minnesota team and go win a championship.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I think whoever wins between OKC Spurs wins it all.
I think so too. Most likely. That's who I would be picking. Yeah. Again, I'm cheering for the Knicks regardless, but I think whoever comes out of the West is going to win it.
I like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and whoever the other guy is in their group.
Mikal Bridges, OG
Yes,
Anunoby,
Bridges.
Mitchell
No,
Robinson's
the reason why it's
like
whoever else is in their group is because they went to college together and all that. Remember?
a lot of those Villanova guys. Yep,
Yeah.
that's a fact. You should put this preview to the live.
We're not because it's broken. It's broken. So,
well,
thank you to everybody that did tune in today for this podcast episode. We look forward to seeing you tonight. So,
Tuesday, be ready. We'll have a big breakdown of the debate, and we'll be back next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching. Have a good